What's going on, y'all? It's your man Vic, and I'm the House Son of Columbia. Hey, man, I'm here with my lovely wife, Felicia, and we just now got back from a closing we had this morning with our client. It was a brand new build. We had to do our first walkthrough. When you have new builds, you kind of walk through the house, make sure everything's good. At 8:30 this morning, closing was at 9:30. It was over by 10:15, and we were home by 11 o'clock. So that got me to thinking about some conversations I had over the last week about one was at a home inspection that I had Friday. Another one was with a family member, and another one was with an old friend of mine. Just about not wanting to work on a 9 to 5 anymore, right? One thing about me, when I'm passionate about something, I want to, and when somebody asks me, I don't impress upon my feelings, thoughts, or opinions on anything. But if you ask me my opinion, or if you ask for my advice, I will give that, and I will give it as passionate as I am about my family, about what I do in real estate, about coaching kids playing football, about mentoring the youth, or whatever like that. I'm passionate about those things. So I was passionate about explaining it to them in only the way I know how. So the conversation was about working a 9 to 5. So, and based on our society now, and having to reteach our kids or unlearn some of the things that we were brought up being taught. That you go to work, you go to school, you go to college, or you don't go to college, you go to work, you work that job for 20 years, you retire, and that's it, right? Or 30 years, or whatever it is. The world is changing. You don't have to do. They have so many more opportunities. You can do real estate. You can sell hair. You can do hair. You can do taxes. All these type of things, right? You can make your own income. But what happens is when you tell family members that, hey, let's say me for example, hey, I'm doing real estate full time, or I'm selling cars full time, whatever it is. You doing what? Especially a commission-based job, right? And you don't know how much you're going to make from week to week or month to month. And in return, you can say to them, well, right, I don't know how much I'm going to make. I could make $500 this week, or I can make $2,500 this week. I can make $2,000 this month, or I can make $10,000 this month, because my ability to make money is endless. Versus if you on your job, you know what you're going to make. You already know you're getting however much per hour, however much per week, however much per month. And unless you go in there and ask for a raise based on the work that you know you've done, and you know you're worth that raise, and they still may tell you no, right? I don't have to do that. All I got to do is work harder. It's based on what I do, okay? So that's what I was telling them, that a lot of times we're more excited about someone that makes $25 an hour. They say, oh man, they make $25 an hour. Okay, great. But then after taxes and all these type of things, we're excited about that. But someone comes and say, well, hey, I do real estate. It's like, oh, okay. Hey, I'm a home inspector. Oh, okay. Because you don't know how much you're going to make. And that's a great thing to have, to be able to not know what your cap is. There's no ceiling. There's no roof on what you can do. And that's what I love. You know what I mean? And being able, like I said, go this morning, wake up, not feel like, oh, I got to go to this job. I got to go do this. It's 8:30. Nah, I'm excited. Man, get up. I get to go make another homeowner today. And then once I'm done with that, I'm done. Even if I went to bed at 4 o'clock last night, I'm done. I come back. I can go to sleep, take a nap, and then get on with my day. So I'm not constrained to that job. You know what I mean? So that's why I love it. And being able to go as I please. I can go to my daughter's school with her, go to lunch with her. We can go on vacations, different things that we can do. We're not necessarily constrained with everything we do. We still work just as hard as we would on a 9 to 5, but it's on us. We make that schedule, and that's what I love. What do you think?
Um, well, first I want to say I know that a lot of you guys are probably thinking like how I was thinking, and that is I'm not about to quit my job because we think about stability. We think about the mouths that we have to feed, the house that we have to provide for, and things like that. And the first thing that I was concerned about was quitting my job, insurance, how much money I'm going to make. Are we going to be able to afford the life that we want for ourselves and for our kids? And I was raised in a home where, you work your 9 to 5 as well. Not one time did anybody tell me that, hey, you can own your own business, which, those are things that we saw back in the days is, things we couldn't do, unimaginable, basically. Not saying that, it's a far reach. We might have little odds and ends, but not nothing to where it provided for our whole family. But I'm glad that we took that jump, we took that step out and actually did that. Like he stated, I worked at Verizon and I started real estate. And for me, it was 2 full-time jobs as well. I was showing houses on my lunch. I mean, some of the people at Verizon can attest to it. I had clients there that on my lunch break, we were leaving to go see a house, or I was making a phone call, or I'm putting someone on hold so I can catch a phone call that I need to make. And those are the things that I was willing to do in order to make this real estate thing my full-time job, just make it my life. And it took a lot, of convincing from my husband to take that first step because there was a lot of no's, a lot of cons in it. And for me, he'll tell you, I look at the cons first because I think about, the things that could happen. But, thankful, that he was able to show me those pros and through what he did. But not only that, I think he saw it in me before I saw it in myself. When you're a go-getter on a job for someone else, and when you can make other people rich just by having the drive and ambition that you have, why not put that same attitude towards something for you, for yourself, and for your family? So that was pretty much the benefits for me and what we saw and how we were able to draw our business together. So it's just a lot of benefits.
I mean, and that when she said like she was a go-getter, like she would come home, she would have awards, or I got this, or I got that, or I'm on this new team, I got this new opportunity, I got a raise, whatever. And not to discount that, I was just like, oh, okay. And I was excited, but not as excited as I would be or should be necessarily, because I'm like, well, if you put that same effort into this, and I was already doing real estate. So, and she was helping me in a sense, like, hey, can you do this for me? Can you do that? So she knew the business. And I was like, hey, why don't you start real estate? And she did. To her credit, she went ahead and did it. And she had to do it on weekends and whatnot. She had to work her schedule a certain way so she could do it. And it took longer than, doing it just throughout the week. So she got it done. And like she said, she was at work. She was working with clients. She was doing things. So she had that work ethic. It was just having to have that mindset that, hey, I can do this. Both of us can be doing a commission-based job and still be okay. And, I'm glad she did do that. But it does take a partner. Like having someone, sometimes if you don't have that partner, then that's fine. You still can do it on your own. But just having that person, because I asked her, I said, well, what level of comfort do you need to be able to quit? And she told me, like, okay, I said, tell me what you make per year. And separate from anything, we'll set that aside. So at least for 1 full year, you'll know that what you make in a year is there. And you don't have to worry about anything. That's not saved and then using it. That's because if anything else, you'll have that. And so just come up with a plan, whatever that plan is. If you need to save that up and then feel comfortable, or if you need to, work your job and then do this on the side to make sure that's what you want to do. And or if say you want to do taxes, right? Why not go and work when tax season comes at a tax office? Work at that tax office, learn the procedures, learn how things go, learn the paperwork, get the licenses, do everything that you need to do, and then at the same time you're saving up. And then so you may be working during the day at your job, but then you can come in on the weekends or in the evenings and work for this tax office. Now you've learned everything you need to learn, and you're also saving at the same time. And boom, next year when tax season comes, you like, hey, I already got my LLC, I got all this stuff, I got my licenses, I got my paperwork, everything I need to be a legitimate business. I'm starting my tax business next year. You know, a daycare. If you want to start a daycare, okay, yeah, I'm working here, but I can work on my days off. I may be able to go into this daycare, learn the procedures, learn how things work, do everything that you need to do, and then by next school year, hey, I'm gonna have my daycare ready to be open, or I'm gonna do an in-home daycare first. So you can do these things in in-home hair salon, and then eventually step out there on your own and open up your own business. So you can get them done, man. Don't be afraid to step out on faith, because at the end of the day, listen, you're working 160 hours a week, a month, 40 hours a week, 160 hours a month, plus add 20 because drive time to work, waking up, getting the kids ready. You get off work, you're talking about work, you're upset about work or whatever it is, you know what I mean? And so you add 20 more hours to that. Think about it. Like, they're getting over. The job is getting over on you. If you want holiday pay, you got to work the day before the holiday, the day after the holiday, just to get that holiday pay. So they're always getting over on you. It may be some people that love their job. They don't mind getting up. They don't mind doing the things at work. And there's some people on your job right now that probably do things on the side that's still able, and they're managers and things like that, and still working and don't mind it. But if you have that in you to say, man, this is just not me. I don't want to do this anymore. I want to be able to manage my time. I can manage my own time. Or if you're somebody that just cannot manage your own time, and you're not a go-getter, you're not going to get out there and get clientele and all this other type of stuff, then stay on your job. It's not for you. It's not for everyone. But for the ones that it is for, the ones that are looking at this saying, man, I needed to see this. I needed to know that was my confirmation. Step out on faith, but do it with a plan. You know what I always say? Faith without works is dead. You can have all the faith you want and jump out there, but if you're not willing to work, it's dead. You got to put in work, put in the time, put in the effort, and do it with a plan. Be knowledgeable. You know, when I used to be in the car, I didn't listen to music. If I wanted to learn about how can I go to a tax auction, or how can I learn about this investment or whatever, or learn about stocks, I'm in the car not listening to music, not listening to Future or the latest this or the latest that. No, I'm in the car listening to YouTube. I got it on the aux and I got it playing through the radio. I'm listening to YouTube. I'm listening to people that have experienced it and done it. And that's why I do the videos that I do. I do the things to hopefully inspire someone. I don't do it to be boastful, brag, anything like that. I talk about my downfalls as well. I've talked about videos and I talk about credit. Say, hey, I had bad credit. When I talk about making sure you pay things on time, hell, I've had my car repoed before. You know, I talk about things that I have experienced. I don't talk about it to look down on someone, to think I'm better than anyone. I do it because I do want to help people, all people, but definitely people of my community realize that, man, you can do things a different way. You know what I mean? And it starts in my own household, like with my wife, and explaining to my kids. I've taken my son to a closing with me. I'll talk to my daughter. Our daughters will see their mom working for herself. And they're not going to grow up thinking, I need to go work for a job. They may. Our oldest daughter wants to be a nurse. That's a great job to have. We have friends that are nurse practitioners. That's a great job to have. Our youngest daughter may want to be in the business of real estate or open her own business or whatever. I'm all for whatever you want to do. Just know that you have options, that you don't have to do the 9 to 5. You know, that's that's really my thing. I did want you to hear from my wife, because it did take her some time to get there, but realize you can get there. It is worth it. It is worth it. It's worth being able to go on vacation for 7 days versus 3, because you're saving time for Christmas. You know, it's worth it being able to wake up at 10 instead of 8 and rush to work and be there by 9. It's worth it to be able to know I can go to a family function on Sunday and not say, oh, man, I gotta hurry up, I gotta get back home because I gotta be to bed, I only got this many hours of sleep, or turn down things because, well, I gotta go to work tomorrow. Hey, yeah, same with me. I might have to go to work tomorrow, but the way I'm going to work is a little bit different. I'm excited. I'm ready to get up and go no matter what time I go to bed or no matter what time I got to get up. It's worth it to be able to take my daughter to school in the morning, drop her off, go to the gym for a couple hours, come back home, and start my day. Move freely. You know what I mean? So it's the life, man. How has it been for you, man?
You pretty much summed it up. Being able to not have to miss, things that are going on at my daughter's school, both of them for that matter. I remember having to drive 30 minutes away to go to things for our oldest daughter, and it's like, dang, like I have to drive way over here, drive back, and I got to go to work in the morning. And that in itself, was kind of like, I don't know if I'm going to make it this time. And it killed me having to just say, I can't make something because I know that I got to go to work the next morning and pull a whole, 8-hour shift. Like you said, this morning we woke up, did what we needed to do, took about 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and we're back home, and that to me it's refreshing, to know that if I wanted to go back and lay down and take a nap right now because we didn't go to bed until 2 o'clock this morning, but that's definitely life-changing, and it's very refreshing. It's very it's a comfort, of not being stressed and still being able to afford, the things that we want, the luxuries we want, and the lessons that we're going to pass along to our kids, and to be able to just give them the life that we didn't have I didn't have when I was little, when I was growing up.
She says I was spoiled. She says I was spoiled, but whatever.
So, it means a lot to pass down just the lessons, and not just, just the wealth of knowledge, the wealth of life, things like that, and just being able to show my kids that there are things to aspire to be. Like you said, my oldest daughter, she want to be a nurse. I don't want her to just be a nurse. I want her to think about opening her own practice, working for herself. So while she's going and she's learning to do these things, I also want her to have the mindset that, I can own my own business. I can open my own business and make money for myself and not just make somebody else rich. Our youngest, same thing with her. Whatever she aspires to be, I just want her to think about being a mindset of opening her own business. I talked to my son, and he has business ideas as well, and I'm glad that we're in a position to where we can help those things, prosper and grow and come to life, basically, with what we're doing right now. So
right.
That in itself inspires me to be a better me. And
right. I mean, we're able to use this and do rental properties and start other businesses and things like that, because we're working for today to be able to provide and do things and nice things now, but we also want to make sure 10, 20 years from now, if I don't feel like doing this or anything at all anymore, I don't have to, and I don't have to worry about it. So those are the things that, we're working too hard now to have later. And my main thing in this video is that if this is for you, if this is what you want to do, or if you feel like your life is not yours anymore, get your life back. Get your life back. Take it. Grab it, man. You can't have a better life no matter what you've been through. No matter what you've been through, no matter if you've had a child early, if you had repossessions, you had a foreclosure, you've lost jobs, whatever it is, get your life back. Take charge of your own life. Whatever you have in you, whatever you're doing for someone else, and you're working hard and you're a go-getter, be a go-getter for you. Your number one investment is not your house, it's not your car. Your number one investment should always be you. Always. So, if you guys got questions, email us at househuntofcolumbia@gmail.com. Call me, 803-760-3151. Obviously, if you want to buy a house, give us a call. You want to sell your house, give us a call. But hey, we're here to inspire, we're here to help, we're here to move forward our community. Sometimes we got to unlearn those things that we were taught. and begin to teach our kids and the next generation something different. All right? So get your life back. As always, man, thank y'all for listening to us. I know this video has been a little bit longer, and if you have lived from the beginning to the end, hopefully you got you a nugget. All right? And, you know, if you didn't, those that didn't, they'll miss out. They'll still be in the rat race. You know what I mean? But again, any advice that you need with how to start a business, what some obstacles may be, whatever those things are, I'm here to help. I get a lot of calls off of YouTube and stuff like that, text messages or whatever. And yeah, there are times I'm like, oh God, I see an out-of-state number from Detroit or Montana or New York or whatever, and I know it's somebody probably from YouTube, but it's only, you know, 5 minutes, 10 minutes out of my day, sometimes not even that, just to give somebody advice that they want on their home inspection or buying a house or credit, or just to say thank you. I've gotten calls just to say thank you for the advice or the information. So it's nothing out of my day to help people, man. That's what I'm here for. I started in my own home. You know what I mean? Hey, I had to fight this one. It was tough. But now, I mean, I see her happier. I see her happier and less stressed. And more than anything, that's really what all I wanted, was her to be happy, fulfilled, and less stressed. You know, she got her life back, and you can get yours. This is your man Vic. I am the House Hunter of Columbia. My beautiful wife Alicia. We love y'all. As always, have a great and blessed day. And if you're on YouTube, man, like, comment, hit the like button, and subscribe. Holla back at your boy.